Hey everybody. So I got a request to do the chapter 1 and 12 quiz access problems 13 through 15. For the BYU Idaho class, this is actually the homework support assignment too. So you'll have students that are in your class posting this by Wednesday. At least it is right now. That's how it's set up. But I'll go ahead and do a walkthrough of it since I had a request. Anyway, so it gives us all of this information. In fact, that's the nature of these. And actually, 13, 14, and 15 are all kind of linked together. So I'm going to do all three of them here, even though it might be a little bit of a long video. And so the income statement summarizes our revenues and our expenses, or the money we bring in through doing business and the costs of doing business. And income statements always measure over a period of time. So it's not as of a certain date, it's for a month. Whereas balance sheets, which we'll see in a minute, they measure the balances of our accounts on a given day or a moment in time. So that's how we're going to start off. And so the first section is always the revenues section. And the revenues, again, are the money we bring in or we earn through doing business. So if we look at this list of different things, probably what I would do is highlight what each of them is. So cash is an asset, accounts receivable is an asset, office supplies, land, office equipment, all assets. And then accounts payable is a liability. That means it's money we owe to someone else. Common stock, that's an equity account. That's money that the owners have put into the business. Dividends is money we're going to pay out to the owners. Then revenue is money we earn through doing business. And expenses is our costs we pay or incur in doing business. So our revenue and expenses are going to be all here at the end of this little trial balance looking document. So it looks like we only have one revenue, and it's called consulting revenue. And it was for 12,720. We'll leave these other two lines blank, and here we'll have total revenues of 12,720. Here we'll have our expenses, and we can see up here that we have three: salaries expenses, telephone expenses, and miscellaneous expenses. So we'll do salaries expenses, 5,620, telephone of 780, and miscellaneous of 600. And then at the bottom of an income statement, oh wait, was there another one that I missed? Oh, rent expense. I'm not sure if it's gonna care about the order they're in. We'll see, I guess. And rent expense was 2,380. So this will be our total expenses, which is just all of the expenses added up. And then the difference between our revenues and our expenses is called our net income. So to find that, I would just take 12,720 minus 9,380, and that gives me 3,340. Check our work, see if it was, yep. So we're all good on that one. So I'm going to move on to number 14. Like I said, they're all kind of grouped together. And number 14 is going to show a statement of retained earnings, which is just, well, it shows all the money we've earned during a period and how much of it we retained or kept in the business. So it tells us, let's see, on December 1st, Jasmine Ernst contributed $82,890 in assets in exchange for common stock. And so on December 31st, the company's records show the following items. So this is a brand new business, okay? So first of all, our retained earnings again is always for a period of time. So we're going to say for the month ended December 31st. Our retained earnings at December 1st was zero, meaning brand new business. There was no retained earnings. And then what increases our retained earnings is our net income or profit that we've made during the previous period. Now, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I don't remember what it was. Luckily, I still have it here, right? 3,340. So we're going to add our net income that we had just calculated previously on the income statement. And then the thing that reduces our retained earnings is dividends, which is just a portion of these profits of net income that we make that we pay out to the owners. And so if we look up here, we'll see cash dividends of 830. And so retained earnings, a statement of retained earnings always shows the retained earnings at the beginning of the period plus any net income minus any dividends gives us our retained earnings at the end of the period. Check my work. Looks like I'm in good shape. So we'll move on now to the balance sheet. A balance sheet, it summarizes the assets and the liabilities and the equity accounts of a business at a given moment in time. So its title up here will be as of December 31st or just December 31st, meaning as of this day, these are the balances in these accounts. And so again, on this side, we're going to have assets. And again, we'll look at these and say cash is an asset, accounts receivable, office supplies, land, office equipment. When you're first learning, it's hard because you don't know all this stuff, right? You're just learning it. So you have to get used to it is all. You have to practice with it. So our cash is 15,140. Our accounts receivable, 12,720. Office supplies, 2,110. Land, 46,010. And office equipment of 16,780. So there's our total assets, our liabilities. That's money we owe other people. We only have one, accounts payable. And that was 7,360. And then our equity. And we'll have our common stock, which is the money that the owners have paid into the business. And that one is 82,890. We'll have our retained earnings. Remember, that was the net income minus the dividends. So the amount of the net income of the business that we didn't pay back out uh, to the owners. And again, I don't remember it, but I can look back on my calculator from the last problem, and it was 3340. Our common stock plus our retained earnings will equal our total equity. And then this title down here will be total assets, and this will be total liabilities and equity. And now look, they don't match, which means I've got a problem. So I've got to figure out what's going on. The assets always have to equal the liabilities plus the equity. So it's possible I just made a mistake somewhere in here. I'll double check my numbers. Cash, accounts receivable, office supplies, land, Office equipment. So that should be right. My accounts payable, my common stock. So it looks like the only thing that could be wrong is my retained earnings, which means I may have to look back and say, oh, I made a mistake. I pulled it off my calculator. My retained earnings should be 2,510. So I'm going to put that in there. And now, nice, it balances. My assets equal my total liabilities and equity. I'll check my work. And there it is, problems 13 through 15. I hope that was helpful to you. And like I said, you'll also see your some of your classmates doing it as part of their presentations. So if you found that helpful, don't be afraid to like or share it on YouTube, or to sign up and actually follow the channel. All those things help other people see it. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have a great day. And good luck in the rest of the problems